Janic Journal coming back at you guys. As you can see, we're getting into the mowers. This one's torn apart. That one not yet. Shop is a complete mess. But what I want to show you guys is these Peerless 700 copies, I'm going to call them, that they're selling on Amazon and eBay, about 150 bucks. So now they're coming in packed with grease, pretty much like the Peerless. These things were never used, brand new, so it's all nice and yellow still. First impressions, not bad, not bad. I mean, the aluminum case seems similar to the old Peerless. It's got the ribbings on the top. Now, I always had the old Peerless, so I don't know if Peerless changed over the years, but I mean, to me, it looks like this one with the ribbing would probably be a little stouter. And then I'll get into the internals. Not a whole lot of differences. I just want to point out what I did find. The good thing is the transmissions I bought, and I'll put a link in the description, or at least the model number, are four key shafts, which is good. I mean, I always used to run the two key on the Peerless, whatever I could find, and I just had a lot of issues last year, so I'm hoping that these things hold up a little bit better. Let's see, what are some of the other differences? The other differences are, I'm noticing, and again, this is just my experience. You guys have may seen newer Peerless that have the same features. This has the steel bushing for the output shaft, and then just the bronze one for the inside. I do like that this shaft is shielded by the case, so that's one less area that it'll leak fluid out of. The gear ratios are pretty odd. This would be first gear here and second gear. I mean, they're like super close. I don't think I'm gonna hardly notice any difference between the two. I'm gonna set it up to run in third. The other gears seem like a pretty equal distance apart. But yeah, this first and second are so close. It just seems kind of odd to me. Another thing I want to point out is the oil seals. There's actually an oil seal on the top of the case where the shifter shaft comes through, and then they come with a oil seal on the bottom input shaft as well. Now, I mean, I don't want to embarrass myself, but to me, let's see if I can get this thing to focus. To me, those are backwards. That's the way I look at it. So I flipped the one around on this transmission that I'm about to put the RTV on and seal up. So I actually flipped that around. But that's a nice feature because, I mean, those are like 10 bucks if you've got to buy them otherwise. So it's nice to have them already on there. So now I'm going to get into what I don't really like about these transmissions. This is the input shaft that goes on the bottom. Two things. One, they use these tiny little snap rings. Now, I took the one off when I was tearing it apart and just, wrecked it, thinking that it would be the same as the Peerless and it would be a 9/16 snap ring, but it's not. I mic'd it up, and the closest I could find, which works well, I already tested it out, is actually a 15/32. I ordered on McMaster-Carr. So, yeah, I don't like how tiny this little snap ring is that's holding your bevel gear on. It's holding your whole shaft, rather, from coming through the bottom. I don't like the size of that, but there's not too much I can do about it. And then they actually use like an E-clip style retainer on the bottom of the shaft. Again, I don't really like that. I would rather a proper snap ring like the Peerless. And the problem is the groove is, for an E-clip, I don't know if I can get the shot, but the groove is super deep. You can kind of see that. So a snap ring isn't gonna work in that application. I've tried the 5/8 snap rings; they don't work. What I did do is went on McMaster-Carr and bought some better E-clips. So I'm hoping these things give a little bit more retention. That's pretty much all I'm seeing. I'm gonna have to really give them a test run once mower season starts to find out what they're really all about. I mean, I really hope I don't start breaking gears and stuff. That's what happened with this one. I don't know how we just tore a whole bunch of teeth off of that. And it didn't seem like there was any gear oil in it. Everything was dry. I don't know what I did. Maybe I made a mistake on that one. I've built a lot of these transmissions. I don't know how I could have messed up that bad. But yeah, so I'm hoping for the best. I think the thing with these is you just got to take it easy. None of them are going to take, some serious abuse. So that serious shock, I think, is always going to be a problem with them. But yeah, this is what I'm down to. I was going to try to buy the EC distributing ones, but they don't sell them anymore. I guess that the demand just isn't there. So we'll try these out, see how it goes. Alright guys, I'm in the back of the step van now. I haven't showed you this yet, but we're several months into the season now. We got 6 events on both of these mowers, the BP And the SP, I got a little AP under here. It's just the hood of the SP. And yeah, they've been holding up really good. They don't whine like some of those Peerlesses did. So far I'm pretty happy with them. The only thing, I wouldn't even call it a complaint, but thing I noticed is they're really hard to shift into gears, and sometimes they don't want to quite jump into the gear. You think you're in it, but you're not quite. But once you get them in them and run them, I haven't had any issues yet. That's just a little fine point, and I could try adjusting that retention screw for the fork that keeps them in each gear. I could try messing with that, but it hasn't even got to that yet. So yeah, that's it. 6 events in, so far so good. We got a 3 event weekend coming up in New Hampshire, but I just wanted to fill you guys in, let you know so far so good. Catch you guys next.